Burks did time for arson, had a felony gun conviction in his past. Salah's family says he was a danger to the public after Hoover was found. Why was he free a year later to confront their loved one?
Welcome to another episode of J Inclusive. Please share, like, comment, subscribe, and set your notifications on so you are alerted every time I upload. In the heart of Detroit's historic Boston Edison neighborhood, among century-old mansions, quiet tree-lined streets, and homes that whisper old money and old secrets, a brutal mystery unfolded in April of 2023. A respected neurosurgeon, admired by patients and loved by colleagues, vanished without warning. What investigators found inside his home would ignite one of Detroit's most chilling and perplexing murder cases in recent history. On April 23, 2023, police were called to perform a welfare check on 53-year-old neurosurgeon Dr. Devon Hoover, a man known both for his precision in the operating room and his elegance outside it. When officers entered his 3-story mansion, nothing seemed out of place. No signs of a struggle, no forced entry, no chaos. But then, the search went upward, into the attic, into a cramped crawlspace where no one would ever willingly go. There, detectives made the horrifying discovery: Dr. Hoover's body, shot twice in the head, wrapped and hidden, as if someone hoped the house itself would swallow his body. As detectives combed through Hoover's home and digital life, something unexpected surfaced. A name, one that appeared again and again in text logs, call logs, phone records: Desmond Burks. Police say the two exchanged roughly 4,000 messages, a volume that suggested far more than casual friendship. While police continued to work on the case for a year, patients, family, and friends were left in the dark about Desmond being a suspect, assuming that the case had just gone cold.
As a neurosurgeon, Dr. Hoover saved lives regularly and also helped his patients walk again. It's not every doctor who has patients wanting to take their picture with them.
And you could tell he was kind of like, not used to that. I mean, I don't think anybody else was posting pictures. I'm like, please, please, Dr. Hoover.
That photo, now a memory Cheryl Lever cherishes.
He thankfully did it. I'm very glad he did.
This past Sunday, the neurosurgeon, 53-year-old Devon Hoover, was found shot to death in his home on West Boston Boulevard in the historic Boston Edison district. Crime scene investigators were back at the home Wednesday. And while police remain tight-lipped about what happened, those who knew him can't say enough about what he meant to them.
Hey, you ever notice, like, when people die, all these people say, "What? Everybody knows that person. Everybody says wonderful things." And, you know, it's not always true. With Dr. Hoover, I was reading all the stuff online, and it is. I mean, he was just so fabulous and very modest.
Where did this come from that this would have happened to him?
Neighbors say he was compassionate and active in his community.
The nicest person. You would never thought anything. Never, ever, ever thought anything would happen like this.
Now, the thing everyone is waiting for, justice.
Absolutely horrible and horrific, and I feel for his family and his friends that are very close with him. I just hope that they find the person very soon and bring justice.
It's been nearly 4 months since the body of Dr. Devon Hoover was found shot to death inside his home here in the Boston Edison district. So far, no arrests have been made. No one has been charged with his murder. And some people who knew him say they want to bring attention to this case until the killer is caught.
I'm shocked at the silence in the community.
Brian Douglas and Jeffrey Cohen would both consider Dr. Devon Hoover a great man and a friend to many. Douglas says he's furious the case hasn't been solved and why more people don't seem outraged the case could go cold, considering who Dr. Hoover was to so many.
He's one of the sweetest, kindest guys that I ever met. So for this to be the ending to his life it's unacceptable in my mind.
Douglas says he's been passing out flyers in the gay community at locations Dr. Hoover was known to frequent across town in Detroit and in Ferndale. Cowan says he can't comprehend why someone hasn't been arrested and charged nearly 4 months after Dr. Hoover's murder.
And it's making us look at the police department and how that works. It's making us look at the prosecutor's office and how that works. And we're noticing who's not helping.
Less than a week after Dr. Hoover's body was discovered shot to death inside his Boston Edison home, a person of interest was taken into custody, but then later released. The reward for information leading to an arrest has now surpassed $20,000. Douglas says until someone is held responsible, he will not rest.
I'm not going to stop being vocal about this. I'm not going to stop putting it in people's face.
It's a moment some people have been anticipating for more than a year. The suspect in the killing of Detroit neurosurgeon Devon Hoover brought up on charges including first-degree murder. Thanks for being with us here at 5. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Damon Fernandez. This is a new booking photo issued today after Desmond Burks was officially charged. Remember, he's already held in connection with the deadly beating of a Dearborn man, a full year after Dr. Hoover's body was found. Sean Lay has been looking more into this side of the story, and he's joining us live right now. Sean?
Damon, we're here at DPD. We're asking questions of DPD and the prosecutor's office to be completely accurate on this issue right now. But here's the deal. Desmond Burks, who you just saw there, was such a strong person of interest in the early days after Dr. Hoover's body was found in his mansion. He was detained by DPD for questioning. He was released. Now, the prosecutor's office says that's because no warrant request was given to them. He was released pending more investigation. That was just weeks ago. Burks was charged with killing a man in a road rage incident. That man's heartbroken wife sitting down with me late this afternoon. The beloved man on the right in this video, taken April 17th of this year, was Rita Sala. That's him at his shop in Dearborn, about to head home at 6 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, his wife, Dad, still could not reach him.
And I called my daughter, my youngest daughter. I was crying. And I said, Sue, something happened to your stepdad. She's like, why are you saying that, Mom? I said, because whenever I call him, he always answers the phone. Something happened to him.
What was in your heart at that time?
Something happened.
Something bad.
Something bad happened.
Bad. Sala got into a fender bender. The other driver got out, hit Sala, knocking him to the ground.
My husband got out of his van, and he punched him and knocked him down to the ground and fractured his skull. My husband went back, fractured his skull.
Rita Sala died this past May 11th. Tonight, his widow is shocked to learn that the man charged with killing her husband is Desmond Burks. He was officially charged today in the murder of Dr. Devon Hoover nearly a year before, April of 2023. Then, Burks was held by police days after the doctor's body was found, but released pending the investigation. Burks did time for arson, had a felony gun conviction in his past. Sala's family says he was a danger to the public after Hoover was found. Why was he free a year later to confront their loved one?
I don't know if it was easier on us that my husband was not shot to death. You know what I'm saying? Shot, rolled up in a carpet, and ditched somewhere.
Like Dr. Hoover.
Like Dr. Hoover.
A woman who I tracked down to talk today saw both the doctor and Burks inside this home. She wants to know what took so long to charge who she believes was the key suspect all along. So the friend we're talking about here is Megan Beamer. I'm hearing from her tonight, a close friend of Dr. Devon Hoover. And being with Hoover at his home, she says the circle of friends saw and knew Desmond Burks. He was here also. And she says from the very start of this investigation, she and others say they alerted DPD that Burks was the likely killer. Burks was arrested, then let go 5 days after the homicide. A year later, more than a year later, Burks is charged. Well, a year later, Burks is charged with killing a 67-year-old man during a road rage incident. That's a new case she's reacting to tonight.
Did you know his name back then?
I know Des. I know who Des is. I know what Des does. Why was this man picked up? Because if you pick him up, you got enough to charge him with, is what I think. Why was he not kept in jail? Then another family wouldn't have lost their family member like we lost Devon.
Why was Burks still out after he was detained? Can't hold someone forever, 72 hours. No warrant request because one wasn't ready. So much more investigation had to be done. His past criminal history, guys, came up during the bond hearing for the road rage incident. That's why he got $1 million bond.
2 years after his murder, new details, including security footage, body cam footage, and even fingerprints were revealed during preliminary hearing.
Local 4's Erica Erickson followed today's court hearing where we saw new evidence against the well-known surgeon's accused killer. Erica.
That's right. Today we heard from the suspect, Desmond Burks' own mother, who pointed her son out in surveillance video because of his distinct walk. We also heard from a Detroit police officer who found blood in Dr. Hoover's SUV. Detroit police trying to make contact with Dr. Devon Hoover at his Boston Edison home. This back in April of 2023 after discovering his white Range Rover appearing to be abandoned a few miles away. 2 days later, police say a family member asked for a welfare check because Hoover was supposed to visit his dying mother in Indiana. Police then discovering his nude body wrapped in blood-soaked carpet in his attic.
The death was caused by multiple gunshot wounds to the head.
34-year-old Desmond Burks charged a year later with murder, seen smiling at times in court Monday. Prosecutors say Burks and Hoover were in an intimate relationship and showing surveillance video, allegedly of Burks, who his mother testified has a limp from being shot, parking and walking from Hoover's white SUV.
What did you recognize the walk as?
My son.
Prosecutors say there are thousands of text messages between the two and evidence that shows Burks stole items from Hoover's home and used his bank cards after the murder. Burks' mother, the first back on the stand Tuesday.
The defendant is having conversation with someone.
The witness.
He told his mom he loved her. That's what he said.
Now, we will be concealing witnesses' identities throughout this preliminary exam as the judge says threats have been made on both sides. It continues at 9 a.m. tomorrow and is expected to last about 4 days. The judge says there's been threats made on both sides of this, so we're only referring to those testifying during this hearing as witnesses, nothing more. Today we heard intimate phone calls and text messages and heard from those who had interactions with both the suspect and victim.
He just said his doctor friend came to visit him.
3 witnesses identifying 34-year-old Desmond Burks, not only in surveillance video near Dr. Devon Hoover's white SUV just around the block from where Burks had been living, but with Hoover inside his home. Prosecutors say the two had been intimately involved.
And what activity did you observe?
I observed them have intercourse.
Hoover found shot twice in the back of his head in April of 2023. His nude body wrapped in carpet in the attic of his Boston Edison home. A witness testifying Tuesday that Burks had been struggling financially, selling drugs.
Did he do anything else to make money?
Yes, he sold himself.
But days after Hoover's murder, the witness says Burks had an additional cell phone, had been buying jewelry at the mall, and sending others money.
So he told you that the deceased person sent you money as well?
Yes.
The same witness says Burks asked them to get rid of a backpack after his arrest, inside finding toothpaste, clothes, a 9mm, and
a black and gray box with Dr. Hoover's name on it, and then inside was a pair of surgical goggles with his name inscribed on it.
That witness then says they watched Burks throw a gun into the Rouge River, later identifying Burks here, wearing the same watch prosecutors say the doctor purchased 2 days before his murder.
He have a consistent source of income?
No, he was a hustler.
More testimony from those who knew 34-year-old Desmond Burks well.
Did you previously indicate that he was broke?
Yes.
Reluctantly taking the stand to determine if he'll head to trial for the murder of well-known Dr. Devon Hoover back in April of 2023.
I didn't want to believe it.
You didn't want to believe it?
No.
Because you loved him?
Yes.
Prosecutors say Burks was seen in Fairlane Mall on video, a witness confirming cash purchases at a jewelry store, and prosecutors say 2 Cartier watches belonging to Hoover, one he purchased 2 days before he was killed, were discovered in homes linked to Burks, with serial numbers to match. Burks even seen wearing one of them.
What did he say about that watch?
He said that's big money.
He said that's big money?
Big money watch, yeah.
And was he showing it off?
Yes.
And did he say big money Des?
Yes.
One witness testifying Wednesday Burks began acting suspiciously after the doctor's murder.
And what was it that you heard him say?
He's looking for a chop shop.
And did you ever hear him speak of a gun?
Yes, he said he needed to get rid of one.
Another woman says Burks admitted to knowing Hoover, called him a homophobic slur, and used his stolen credit card to go on a shopping spree.
And what do you want you to do with it?
Buy myself something nice.
The audacity for Burks to use a homophobic slur toward Hoover while engaging in gay-for-pay behavior and accepting money and gifts. It's a contradiction that's hard to ignore, but one that is common amongst straight men who look at gay men as a meal ticket.
District 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham was back in court today as prosecutors revealed Burks came into a lot of cash after the death of Hoover.
My question was simple. Were these your words, yes or no? That was it.
She asked the follow-up question.
No, I didn't. She asked me to read it back to her, and I read it back to her.
So she could answer the question.
Attorneys fought over whether certain questions could be asked in a case filled with charges of murder and sex with complete strangers. Prosecutors played this video of Desmond Burks walking into a jewelry store at Fairlane Mall on April 22, 2023, the day Dr. Devon Hoover was discovered dead in his home. A woman familiar with the transaction says Burks bought a 10-carat yellow gold charm and 10-carat yellow gold diamond earrings.
And how did that individual pay?
Cash. An expensive cash transaction, despite more witnesses describing Burks as broke. Those same witnesses testified that Burks sent them hundreds of dollars via Cash App from an unknown account. They were then instructed to send the money to Burks' actual Cash App account and to keep a little money for themselves. They were then told to delete their Cash App account. In addition to murder, Burks is charged with larceny. He's accused of stealing more than $30,000 from Dr. Hoover through Cash App and bank fraud transactions. One woman says Burks instructed her to buy him some Cartier glasses online with Hoover's credit card number and to buy something nice for herself.
And were you given immunity for the credit card fraud and the fraudulent activities that took place in this case?
Yes. The woman testified that Burks previously broke her jaw, so the woman's brother got revenge.
My brother shot him.
Your brother shot him? Do you know why?
After becoming associated with Burks over a period of time, another woman testified that she's scared of Burks and faced threats.
And what was it that he told you about the situation and why he was arrested?
He said that they was trying to frame him. They was trying to put the murder on him.
Today in court, prosecutors revealed the defendant's cell phone location data on the days before and after Dr. Hoover was found dead.
Gino Vici joins us now live outside of the 36th District Court with more on that. Gino?
Terrence, Shana, that was a big part of today's hearing. Location. Prosecutors read a statement on the record from investigators who tracked the cell phone location of Desmond Burks, the defendant, as well as Dr. Hoover, around the time he was murdered.
Devon Hoover's cell phone ending in 7021 left the area of 150 West Boston and traveled to the area of 9924 Sussex and arrived into that area at approximately 10:59 a.m. on April 22nd of 2023.
Prosecutors during the preliminary examination for Desmond Burks focused on location. Where was the defendant at the time Dr. Devon Hoover was murdered? Cell phone data showed Burks' phone stayed put at his residence on the night of April 22nd and April 23rd, 2023.
Desmond Burks' cell phone ending in 3749 was in the area of 9924 Sussex the entire time.
However, Dr. Hoover's cell phone traveled back and forth from his home to Burks' residence on those same nights.
Number two, Devon Hoover's cell phone ending in 7021 left the area of 9924 Sussex at approximately 11:10 a.m. on April 22nd, 2023 and traveled back to the area of 150 West Boston, arriving at approximately 11:19 a.m.
Nearly a dozen witnesses have testified, several under testimonial immunity, and many have indicated from their testimony they were in some way involved in assisting Desmond Burks in covering his tracks. Meanwhile, the judge maintaining strict orders not to identify these witnesses out of fear of retaliation.
Despite all of the evidence presented during this 4-day-long preliminary hearing, Burks' attorneys argued that the relationship between Burks and Hoover was complicated romance, that the presence of stolen property in Burks' possession did not prove murder, and that there was no direct eyewitness to the killing. They even attempted to claim Burks was not mentally competent to stand trial, but in March 2025, a judge declared him mentally competent. Up until last month, November 2025, Burks' attorneys made one final attempt to get the case thrown out entirely, but the judge denied it, setting the trial date for January 2026. This case is a reminder to all gay men: protect your heart, your safety, and your peace. Men who present themselves as gay for pay often operate in a space where boundaries, intentions, and honesty can get blurred. Some are homophobic, as in this case, Burks would refer to Hoover by using homophobic slurs when talking about him to other people. Others are wrestling with internalized homophobia, which, if triggered, they could take that anger out on you. When someone is only showing up for money, access, or opportunity, you are only worth as much as you can do for them. Choose connections rooted in respect, mutual desire, and transparency. Your life, your safety, and your dignity are worth more than attention from someone who only shows up when there's something to gain.